All right, there we go. We are live.
Hello, everybody.
You are getting some different angles tonight.
Yes.
We're growing in our technical, I don't know what we're doing.
Just technical
but
skill sets.
we are a Rise and Shine, in case you're wondering what is going on. This is a Rise and Shine Stories of Triumph, and we are really excited tonight because Benicia and I get to introduce to you the infamous Miss
Beautiful.
Benita Sloan. She is here tonight as Benita Sloan. She is here tonight as Empowering Solutions Group. She is here tonight as a mother of two beautiful grown children.
Yes, a boy and a girl.
And a wife of over 30 years.
Yeah.
She's also here tonight as a seasoned entrepreneur. I believe 2 businesses, right?
That's correct.
And she is a relations coach, a wellness advocate, a dear friend of ours.
A lifeline.
I
What
mean,
she is. Love her.
You need a prayer warrior in your life.
Yes.
Dial 911.
Yeah.
I'm serious, y'all.
Yes.
And we are customers of Empowering Solutions Group. I think we hit the major things, but I would love to hear from you who you come to us as tonight.
Wow.
Yeah.
How do I follow up that? But I'm like, it's you coming me? I want to first just thank Benicia and Tanya for this awesome privilege. Indeed, it is. Just for the work that you both have committed to. One thing that I believe in my motto, empowering people prosper. And once we are empowered, we should reach back and empower others. This journey is not even about us. It's about what we have gone through, our real story. I'm talking about the story that we don't like to tell, but that story. And when you show up and you tell that story, lives are forever changed. And so the privilege that I've had, Empowering Solutions Group came about pretty much by accident, I would say. I was having a lot of issues in my own body, some things that I had just ignored, just situations. And I personally believe that every issue that we encounter comes from an emotional root.
That's good.
I had so much stuff that I had literally buried alive. It was starting to resonate. And so what I found for me, since I've crossed over the half-century mark, I think I can talk about this.
Yes.
You look good.
So one of the things that I have found, what we do in our 20s shows up in our 30s. What we do in our 30s shows up in our 40s.
That's good.
Yes.
What we do in our 40s, it shows up in our 50s.
Yes.
And so we are a product of the choices that we make on
Wow.
this journey.
Yeah.
So
That's good.
what I have realized, we all make choices, some good. Some choices we make are out of a place of pain, unresolved issues, things that we don't want to deal with, so we just bury it, we stuff it. And the reality, anything buried alive, it won't ever heal.
That's right.
Wow.
And so we take that toxicity into relationships. The best relationship you can have is this with this person.
Internal.
It's this person.
That's
The
good.
one that you see every day.
Yeah.
The one that sometimes we can look in the mirror and we never see ourselves.
Yeah.
But one day I saw myself. And what I saw the brokenness, I saw the hurt, I saw the things that I did not want to address in my life. And this is what I really found in relationships, that you're in relationships with people and it's like different person, same situation, another person, same situation.
Yeah.
And when you see that cycle, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Okay, well, who's the
I've
common
been here
denominator?
before. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, it shows up. We have people that get married and remarried and remarried and remarried. And the reality of who's the common denominator?
You are.
So until we're healthy,
That's right.
you have to be the best version of yourself.
Yeah.
And that's where the choices come in.
That's
If
so
we
good.
don't make the choices without excuse, because we have mastered that, it goes back to the garden. Well, it was your fault. Well, it was your fault.
Right.
And because you did that. And that's where we make a vital mistake.
Yeah.
When we don't own our truth.
Yeah.
Because truth is good. The truth that you know is what sets you free. But if you don't apply it to your life, you don't have anything.
Yeah.
So I had a real reality check. I ended up in the hospital on my back, getting some much needed rest. So I think it took all of that.
Yeah,
Right?
he will sit you down, won't he?
He got my full attention.
Yes.
Full attention.
Yeah.
I've been there.
And the reality was, I had done it to myself, you know,
Yes.
because I don't need sleep. I'm good. I can make
I
this
can
happen.
sleep when I
Right.
die.
And that's
Right.
literally, and I was going to be dying a lot earlier than his plan was,
Yeah.
and because of the choices I had made. But in that moment, I had some time to really come to Jesus and understand the reality of my truth. And my truth at that time was, you know what? The things you have done in your body, the things that your body has been, you know, when you was having that little pain in the shoulder, like what? Like,
Yeah.
what is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, and we don't do anything with that.
No.
But then you let that thing become a full, oh my goodness, I can't move today.
Right.
Okay, full attention. Now,
Yeah.
what do I do about that?
Mhm.
So we want to get to a place and live a life of intention where we can be in position. You know what? Something's going on. I feel it. Okay, so what is this saying about me? And where is that coming from?
Right.
Because a lot of times things will show up and we just ignore it. Until we get to the place, like for me, in the hospital, on my back.
Wow.
Okay, I don't know what's going on. Everybody's
That's
doing all
good.
these tests on me, and I'm like, there's nothing wrong. Well, guess what it was? It was pretty much stress. Stress
Oh.
will kill you.
Yeah, I took that as a joke or just a saying, and I would hear people too, and I'm like, oh, they're hippies or they're quacks or whatever. They would say, you have to listen to your body.
Right.
How many times have you heard that?
No, that's
A
so
lot.
good. And
Why
that's
didn't
one
say
thing
I grow up?
that
And I'm
is
like,
one
oh my
thing
God,
she
I gotta
talks
listen
about.
to my body.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And like she said, you have to get to a place where you recognize how important it is to take care of you.
Yeah.
So as women, we wear so many hats. You know, I had to come to the place where I said, it's okay that you don't have to be Superwoman. Like,
Right.
let's
Yeah.
take the cape off. Let's lay it down. Let's ask for help. You know, a lot of us have
Imagine that concept.
What's the word again? It's a four-letter word.
help.
Oh my, the help.
Yes,
Very good.
and not
Yeah.
just women, but men. You know, we just want to feel like we can conquer everything, and we
Right.
don't have to.
Yeah.
And like you
Yeah.
said, you know, we end up really suffering
Yeah.
from that. So to your point, getting down to the root of why do I operate like that? Like for me, you helped me so much. Oh, Miss Benita has been a lifeline. If you don't know about Ruth and Naomi in the Bible, let me tell you, she is a Naomi to me. But what she, you know, helped me recognize and realize is that if you don't make yourself a priority, then you cannot be healthy for anyone else.
Yeah.
And you only can go so far before you break down either physically or even mentally.
Yeah, self-care is so important.
Yeah.
And you brought some samples of some of the things that you do, but I don't want to skip that part. You were getting ready to tell us about how you actually fell into empowering solutions.
Yeah.
I want to hear that because so many people have been blessed by what you've been doing.
Oh, wow.
I really want them to know where it started.
Well, for me, what I found was I have always really been into holistic health to some degree.
Right.
And I was just in such pursuit of, oh my God, what's my passion? What is it I want to do? And I was just putting all this pressure, like trying to understand, like, what was I created to do? And I think so many times women, we wear so many hats. We want to be everything to everybody.
Yes.
Throw a couple
Yes.
children in there. Give me a husband. I got to take care and I got to do this. But the reality of it is you cannot give to anybody if you are an empty vessel.
Yeah.
So if
That's
your checking
good.
account's
Yes.
overdrawn and you keep on trying to go ahead, keep writing them
Yeah,
checks,
right.
you're gonna start getting some
Eventually, yeah, you're
Yeah.
gonna get locked up.
Right.
and that's why they gonna come look for you. Yeah.
Locked
So you
up.
can't live like that.
That's right.
Yeah.
So when I say I literally stumbled into it, I mean I stumbled into it. I literally was doing this, like talking about health. But when I ended up in the hospital and the choice that I was given, I couldn't do that. That right there was not a viable option for what I was told. So I'm like, so I need some safe, healthy, some way that I can address my body and meet my body where it is.
Yeah.
So you know what? He took me right back to plants. I'm like, plants. So think about this. When we were young, well, I can say when I was young, okay? When I was young,
Little sis.
Well, y'all, we looking good.
I know that's right.
So yeah.
Peppermint.
So everybody's been doused with a little peppermint in here. So
Yes.
we're all, the room smells amazing. So we all are getting energized from the peppermint, but it also is good for like your whole digestive system. So we're like really having a good time in here right now. It's good.
Yes.
So yeah, so literally I stumbled into it, and so I started like, who doesn't know what peppermint is? Okay.
Yeah.
So literally everything went back to the plant, and so I literally, once I stumbled upon this, I used to take lavender baths and eucalyptus. I used to have a lot of stiffness in my joints, and so just had a lot of things going on in my body, not realizing that while I'm doing this and working in corporate America and doing all this, the challenges I was experiencing was because of what I was doing, managing people and all of the care. One of the things I found out about me was I was caring for everybody. Yeah. Okay. So you need something. What you need? Right. Well, I'm already fully extended. Well, okay. Well, can you help me? Because you're so good at this. And yes, like it won't take me but a minute. I can do it.
No
and
boundaries.
So no boundaries.
Right. Yeah.
And so the realities, I stumbled upon that book, Boundaries.
That's
It's
an
a good
excellent
read.
book.
Good
Really,
read.
really
Really,
good
really
read. Yes,
Really
it
good.
is.
You need
Take
to
a
get
lot
that
of-
book, y'all.
It's
Boundaries.
a good read.
I told you that before.
Yeah, it's a good read. It's a good read. And what I found out was I was like, oh, okay, I saw me, and then that, okay, and I'm doing that. And I had not set any realistic boundaries. And so what I realized, people were treating me just like I taught them to treat me.
Right.
They didn't respect my time.
That's good.
They didn't honor when I said no. Well, you come on, you can do it. Like it ain't gonna take you but a minute.
Yes.
And the reality was, it was coming from a place, and Benicia said this earlier, just about how we just want to do and do and do.
Yeah.
But the reality was, no. If I say no, last I heard, no still means no.
Yes.
I'm not gonna do it. And
Yes.
so when I started changing that, because one thing about change, when you change, and I've coined this, when you change, everything around you changes.
That's right.
And so what happens so many times, we just want to blame, well, if you hadn't done that, then I wouldn't have done that. But the reality of it is, you set your own course, and
Yes.
you get to decide that. So when I started using the oils, I started feeling different.
Yeah.
Now, all of us know, like, your mom probably told you should forgive. Well, my mom didn't always tell me to forgive. They hurt you, you just cut them
That's
off.
right.
You don't deal with them, just leave
No,
them.
you're right. My mom said, forgive them.
Just let them go. Well,
Yeah.
my story wasn't like yours. My mom was like, just don't have nothing to do
But
with
you
it.
forget that you hold
Keep
stuff
it
in
moving.
too, so that's not good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's what I found. Like, I was like, no, when I see them, you feel some kind of way. And it's a reality. We are energy forces.
Yeah.
You have your energy, I have mine. Like right now, the energy is real good. We got
Yes,
a good
real
flow.
good. Yes.
So, but the reality of what I found was, okay, if we're energy sources, okay. And so if I'm holding on to that, so when I see her, what's happening? Am I good or bad? Like I'm feeling some kind of way. So what I realized, everything that I was taught, their mama wasn't always right.
Right.
Just like I'm not always right. And so the reality, I knew that I needed to make some changes. Some of the ways that I was showing up in my relationship with my husband, with my children, trying to be superwoman. I'm going to be honest with you, raising my children, what I found out was when you come and you're everything, my mom was a single mom. She had me at 13. So the place that she operated from, that wasn't my story, but how many of us are working from survival mode?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Because we learned that.
That's so
That's
good.
good.
That's so
Survival mode.
Yeah.
And don't even know. Because it becomes the norm. Like this
Yes.
is my norm
Yeah.
until you come in contact with someone, right? Wisdom, knowledge. That's what the Bible
Yes,
says.
yes.
That we perish because of it.
That's
you
it.
know, that's one reason why we do this podcast.
Yeah.
Knowledge and understanding. So that's powerful.
The reality to understand you're not alone. But if we can come to this truth, every family has a certain level of dysfunction.
Yes, every
And
family does.
We don't have to get into this, well, y'all just look like the perfect family. I'm going to tell you that's
Oh,
a myth.
my
It's
Lord.
not true. And people will say this a lot, but, oh my God, y'all been married 31 years? I'm like, yeah, we still doing the work.
That's right.
Say that. Can you say
It
that
is
again?
it is a decision to do the work. There
Every
is
day.
no
And
And you
magic.
make it every day.
Every day.
Every day.
Every moment of the day.
That's right.
We get to make that. And that's what life is about. It's all about choices.
Yeah.
If you make a choice today, good, bad, or ugly, And it's like a lot of times we'll get into relationships that we know that are toxic. We know, like after the first date,
Yeah.
this is probably not going to be a
We
good
see
marriage.
the signs,
Yeah.
Red flags.
big ones.
But we do nothing about it.
Yeah.
We show up the same way every time. Well, I should get something different. Like, how is this happening?
Oh,
I think that's
I would
insanity.
change them.
Yeah.
Right.
You
No, it
cannot.
doesn't happen.
You cannot change people. I mean, if Jesus gives us the power to choose, you know good and well we can't change nobody.
Right.
That's right.
Like that. That is a choice. But one thing about it, every choice has a consequence.
Yes,
Yes,
it
it
does.
does.
When we show up as super women, we deny people the opportunity to have the consequence of their choice.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
because we're
good.
constantly
That's good.
saving the situation.
Exactly.
They never learn from what they
Right.
do.
So
And then we become their God.
Hello.
And
Ooh.
and God said there should be no
No
other
other
God
before.
before
That's
him.
right.
And he's a jealous
That is
guy, so
good.
you let somebody else go up there and get in the wrong position.
Oh, he gonna make sure.
Excuse me,
It's
I'm
broken
going
down. Yeah, I'm
Exactly.
breaking that platform
This
down
is out
right
of
there.
order.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one thing that I love that you really have helped me with, going back to really working and focusing on you, is that you have to learn how to be authentic.
Mm.
Yeah, that's real
Right?
good.
And so many people don't know how to be authentic because they really truly haven't done the work
Yeah.
to really know who they are. And we all know sitting here, you can't know who you are without knowing who God is.
That's right. That's right.
So how did God play a part in this whole process of you learning, you know, your purpose and how important it was to start taking care of yourself?
I had to first come to the understanding that God loved me, but I had to press through the reality that my dad left. I mean, he left. So the reality, when I first came to know the Lord, what my reality was, my dad left. There is no more to the story. He left. So we get to telling, especially women, because we want our dads, like they're the seed in which they passed for us to be
Right.
here.
Yeah.
You want to
That
be
safe
loved
place.
and valued by that
Absolutely.
person.
Yes.
We judge other men based on
Come
that.
on.
So because of
That's
that
right.
broken place,
Feeling,
we
yes.
feel like, well, we're not worthy. I'm not valuable because the man that brought me, he was the man that produced the seed, but he don't love me. He don't have nothing to do with me. So we show up and we judge God that way.
That's right.
Wow.
Ooh, that's
It is
good.
hard.
Father wound.
Father, I mean, they show up in
Mhm.
every capacity.
Right.
We can be on our jobs and we'll be looking at, yeah, look at him. Because see how I saw how he looked at me. Child, he wasn't even looking at you.
Right.
He was looking past you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
And-
that's true because of your issues,
Yeah,
though.
because
right.
of those unresolved issues that we don't want to do the work.
Right.
So the reality for me, when God showed me that, hey, look, I love you. You ain't got to earn it. I had such low self-esteem about the way I look. Some of that was because my mom said it. Some other people was like, yeah, your nose too big. But the reality, I grew into that. Like one of the main things that I had, like when I let my hair grow natural, I was like, ooh, like all the stigma I had attached to that.
Yeah.
Like, look, this your hair. He gave it to you, good, straight, curly, whatever it is. That's who you
That's-
are.
yes.
So you get to accept all of you.
Mm-hmm.
All
All
of
of you.
All
Yeah.
of you.
Yeah.
That
So
means
much of that we don't want to own
Yeah.
our stuff.
Yeah.
That's
you
true.
know.
That's
Yeah.
true. Because it's hard.
Yeah.
Like you really have to look in the mirror, like you said, take all excuses out. No mother, no father, no ex-husband, wife, whoever.
Yes.
I have to look at me and ask myself the hard questions. What do I have control over?
Right.
And so you started having control or taking control
Taking
over
control.
the choices and decisions that you made.
Right.
And so how did that turn into a business? So you went
Yeah.
from it blessing you personally to now having your own business and blessing so many individuals.
And the self-esteem catapults you
Yes.
needed to do to become an entrepreneur is hard.
Mm.
You know, that resolve that you have to have within you. Tell us about that, because the one thing that I can say that you have blessed me with, this word has become synonymous when I think about you, and that's process.
Yeah. That's my word. But one of the things, and that is amazing that you would say that, because when you look at like my mom, I valued my mom. I thought my mom was so powerful, but my mom didn't think she was so powerful. My mom was impacting lives. She was a single mom, so before she left, she was impacting other single moms. She was keeping their children. I said, why don't you let them go home? Like, why are they here all weekend? But the reality of it was,
We got that house too.
I was like, when are they going home? Like, she can't be working all weekend. But what I realized was that was my mom's journey.
Yeah.
That wasn't my journey. But when I decided to take the parts that were gonna support me,
Yeah.
the baggage, put those suitcases down. Those suitcases aren't serving me. So
Yeah.
I don't need them where I'm going. So literally, I just started telling my story. Who knew that a little girl coming from the projects, raised by a single mom, that she had something to say, but it's the authentic version.
Yes.
I'm not dressing it up. I'm not cleaning it up. Yeah, but the reality, it eliminates the excuses.
Right.
We all have things that have happened in our lives, but it's part of the process
Yes.
that makes us who we are.
Yes.
How can you hate the process and think you're going to get to the finish line and be like, oh, I made it?
That's good.
That's powerful, and that
That's
ties
good.
directly to something you said earlier about learning the authenticity. The key to that is two things: letting go
Woo, that's a good one.
and bravery.
Oh yes.
Because in order to stand in it, you have to be brave enough to let go.
Absolutely. That's so good.
You know, and to own your stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
You
Because
know?
with bravery comes transparency.
Yes,
Right,
because
right.
then it just flows naturally.
Yeah.
And that's actually who you are.
Mhm. And it's your story. Sometimes
Yeah.
we're so shamed.
Yeah,
Mm.
shame is definitely not good.
Story.
Shame
Yeah.
and
You
pride.
That's pride.
Guilt,
Yeah.
you know, those type of things that would hinder us from, like you said, sharing with someone. When a lot of times when you begin to share like you have, you find that people say, me too.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the lie of the enemy. Oh, you're the only one who's ever experienced,
Right.
you know, whatever it is. And as you begin to, like you said, get brave and, you know, become authentic and transparent, and you begin to share, one, you overcome,
Yeah.
and then you
Yes.
help pull somebody else
That's
out
right.
as well.
That's right.
You know?
We overcome by the blood of the Lamb and
Hey,
the word of
Our
our
testimony.
That's
right.
Come on with the word.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Come
Our
on.
testimony.
Yeah, our testimony. And the reality, if you are not willing to be the vessel to testify, he'll raise up a donkey. But I mean, the story is going to be told.
Oh, come on.
The story
Yeah.
The story is going to be told.
And letting go is the key to all of that.
Right.
Because without his guidance through that process,
Yeah.
who knows where we would end up, you
Right.
know? And that's why, I mean, we're so honored to actually have you here talking about your story, because you're a true example of what happens when you own your mess, resolve it,
Yeah.
and walk in him every day. You know, what you're building in your marriage and your business, all of that is, I want to say, well, side effects has a bad connotation, but is glory
Right.
for the work that's been done,
Absolutely.
you know?
Yeah.
So, but I digress, because I really want you to, some of the stuff that you did when I came to
Yes.
see you was amazing. I mean, I left out of there like I could conquer the world.
Hallelujah.
And,
I
you
love
know,
that. I slept. I came out of there like, listen, because I'm all about massages. But I came out of there was like, if I never get another massage, I need this aromatherapy touch. Changed my whole life. I slept for what? A good hour and a half.
You had a good nap.
I got it in.
You know she has to pay rent.
That's
where she
I woke up like,
I was like, well, welcome back. Welcome back.
But the key to that is you don't know, to your point, how much your body has been affected by the everyday hustle and bustle of life. So when she did the aroma touch therapy, it actually relaxed me to a state that I don't think I've ever experienced
Absolute release.
before. And it was just amazing. So we're gonna let you explain what the aroma touch session is all about. You guys, listen, you have to go to her website. We'll make sure that we put the link in this
Comments.
podcast because it is amazing. So
Yeah.
what is it actually?
Before you go there, we can't respond to your comments. I know you're used to
I
us doing that.
know.
We're short a staff member tonight, but I did want to stop
Absolutely.
and say thank you
Thank you
for joining
share
us,
us.
and please share so that other people can hear this fabulous story and maybe learn something and learn about Empowering Solutions Group as well. And we'll be back to responding to you, and we'll try to get to all your comments. But take it away, because I really want to know.
Okay, here's the secret. So with a lot of times when we rest, most of us don't really rest and get into a deep sleep. So that REM level of sleep is the goal. I know for me, I was having a lot of hormonal imbalances. So when I would go to, it would be hard to go to sleep. Then when I went to sleep, then I would wake up from the sleep. Then I try to go back to sleep, and so I would be exhausted the next
This
day.
sounds familiar.
So,
Yeah.
and then throw in a little bit of that heat that comes over in the middle of the night, and you got that perspiration that you want to take off everything, but then you're like, okay, then you got, whoo, Jesus, somebody just blew cool in there.
Yeah.
So, putting all of that, what the aroma touch does, it balances the sympathetic and the parasympathetic nervous system, and it brings you into a state of what's called homeostasis.
Ooh, I like that state.
That, I equate that state to what it must have been like in the garden. There was no stress, total absolute peace.
Yes.
Nothing to worry about, knowing every need that you have is provided. That's what he promised anyway. So
right.
just being able to rest in that. So once you are in that state, I believe that you're in this state, but you're in this alignment. And when everything is in the alignment of the one who created us, how could there not be peace?
Yeah.
And tranquility. So you're getting into that REM level of sleep, and the sleep that you get is amazing, and it may be 3 or 4 days you get to experience that. You have a lot more energy.
Yes.
If there's discomfort in the body because you're in perfect alignment, a lot of that just goes away. So some of the testimonies I get about how people have slept, how they have had so much energy, how they just
I need to go put a testimonial up.
I'll take them.
I need to do that.
Yeah.
But I want to go, because what you just described was awesome and my experience.
Wow.
But I'm going to talk about the other part, because your word, there was some ugly to get to that place.
Yeah.
There,
the
I mean,
process.
I don't mean to be gross, y'all, but
Go ahead.
there was some stuff that came out of me, like sinus wise, that I don't know. I didn't even know that was even there. You know, so getting the ugly out, you can only get to that place until when you get the ugly out.
That's right. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
that
process.
was
Yeah.
it was extraordinary to experience that, because I felt so much lighter.
Yeah.
I could breathe better, everything. It was powerful.
That's that alignment. So one of the components, I believe that every challenge in the body comes from the emotional root. Everything. So mucus and all of that, it is in your intestinal tract. By the time we start feeling it here and here, like,
Oh
my God, it's like it's from here. So by the time it gets up here, and you're like, oh my God, like, I can't hardly breathe. So the whole complexity. So think about this. If you have congestion,
Yeah.
I'm gonna use this as an example. So if you're on the highway, just driving along, like, and you can't go nowhere. It's just congestion everywhere. What
Right.
do you feel?
Traffic.
You
You're trapped.
feel locked in, trapped, like you can't move. So think of your sinuses as that. So when you're congested, think about your life. And I believe, like, when you look in a person's car, like, if it's all cluttered, their lives are cluttered. If you look in that wallet
That's
and
so
it's
true.
all cluttered,
Yes.
I promise you their life is cluttered. Our lives
Yes.
speak emotionally about
Wow,
where we are.
That's so
So
good.
if you're driving in traffic and you can't go nowhere and you're all congested, think of your body. If it's congested, what do? I need to get rid of this congestion. Okay, well, sit your butt down somewhere, relax, let some of the baggage go. Chill, take a chill pill. But we don't do that.
No, we take a Benadryl.
No, I gotta go get something. What, Can you give me something? Can you give me something? Like, no, in that moment, I would probably be like, okay, yeah, We had a little peppermint. I'm gonna just. But the reality of it is, you don't want to do that long term,
Right.
Because everything that you put in the body that is not made out of what the body is made. Plants come from the ground just like our bodies came from the ground.
That's right.
That's why it resonates so
So
quickly.
good.
So when you use aromatherapy, the sense of smell is amazing. That's why when you go and you get cologne, why do you do it?
Ooh, good.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, and then they put all that alcohol in it. So once you do that, then you're gonna, I need to put some more on because I can't smell it because it's just absorbed into the body.
Right.
Well, the benefit for me with the oils is I can put them on. I go places all the time and say, oh my God, I smell peppermint. I was saying earlier how I go to the gym and it's like some mornings I wake up, I don't want to go to the gym, but I go to the gym anyway. I'm
Say
like,
it again.
oh, Jesus. But I tell you what, I put that douse peppermint, put a little bit of here, then the leg side peppermint gives me the energy. So I'm like, and then I get there and my trainer's like, ooh, you smell good. And I'm like, and he getting the benefit
Right.
because when the sense of smell is the fastest way for the oils to get in the body because there's no synthetics.
Right.
So if you meet the body where the body is, the body has to do what it was designed to do.
Oh, that's good.
Because the one that made it knows all things and he equipped the body to naturally heal itself. If you think about the body, we have cells in our body.
Yes.
Cells are always what? They're always dying, trillions of them, and then
Yeah.
they come back. We get
Yeah.
a new cell, that one dies
Generating,
out. They're
generating,
always.
generating.
So think about this. Can you explain to me then, if that's the case, every cell creates another cell when it dies. How does the body die? If it's always rejuvenating itself,
Yeah, it does.
how does the body die? The body does.
The body dies, right.
The
The
shell
soul, the
dies,
spirit does,
but the
yeah.
soul doesn't.
That's
But
right.
how does the body die?
The cells stop generating.
The body itself, you cannot explain how the body, this instrument, if it's designed that way, other than it was cursed because of disobedience and the fall, that's why it has to go back to the ground.
Okay.
But the
Okay.
reality of it is, scientifically, if you have something and it continues to regenerate, how can it ever die? Except for it was cursed because of disobedience going back to the garden.
Okay.
You do not get to disobey when you're given instructions. When God spoke to his manservant Adam, I mean, this is so powerful for me. When he spoke to Adam, and he told Adam they were in the cool of day, but he was talking to his manservant. Where did Eve come from? From his manservant Adam. There really was no second person. He created Adam, but where did Eve come from? She came from Adam. Eve was an extension of his man.
Yeah.
So that's why marriage is so important with that relationship. God always knew when he had the relationship.
Yeah.
It's always been about that oneness. Eve is not a secondary person, so that's why the whole deception in the garden is just a lie. That's the reason it's a lie.
Ooh, that's
There
a
was
whole
never
nother podcast.
but one person,
Yeah.
Adam. That's why when he called out for his man, who did he say? Adam, 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 where are you? He didn't ask for, because it was always him and his man.
Well, did y'all catch that?
That was
She's a relationship coach as well. If you didn't know by now.
we dealing with this emotional
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Well, I'm still messed up over the fact that the body, the physical body, is undying. But because of the breaking of a spiritual law,
A choice.
it ceases to exist.
Because scientifically, you cannot. How can you prove if a cell dies and another cell is formed? How can it ever die? Ultimately, scientifically, it's a choice. Everything in life is a choice. Everything.
You gonna make me get a cell. What are those cell doctors called? We're gonna have a cell show.
Like, how is that
What's
possible?
good though is that's in the spiritual realm too.
Yeah.
So the law is the law. It's
The
the
law is
same
the law.
thing. If we're disobedient, some people always think of physicalities, like you die physically, but you can die spiritually.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If we're disobedient and we're not walking in the ways of God. The one thing that I wanted to ask you too was, what was the assessment that you did? The assessment that you did on me blew my mind. Because we walk around, we think we have it together.
You think you know you.
Oh, I thought I knew me. I'm like, oh
Your body put all your business out there.
All my business. She had these oils, y'all. She was like, oh, okay, so this area right here is showing that you still need forgiveness. So I'm gonna give you this oil for that one. We just kept going down the list. I said, Lord, I thought we
I
had
need to
did
go
this.
back. I want that assessment.
I thought we had did this extensive work. But it was amazing because the assessment was truly able to pinpoint things that I that I was harboring and I had no clue. So tell us a little bit about that assessment.
So it's the Zyto assessment, and so basically it measures galvanic impulses. So as I stated earlier, our bodies are energy fields. So, and you know, everybody knows what energy is, because when you get around some people, you be like, oh God, here comes Sally.
Oh,
Right?
yeah.
You know, I want to go the other way. So, but it just, when we measure that, and so basically your body speaks its own language. And so once we get the assessment, we look at your gastrointestinal system, your hydration system, your immune system, and we look at like the emotional component. Most times people never even look at the emotional. It talks about sadness, it talks about anxiety, it talks about grief. And so many times when people die, like our loved ones, and they leave, like grief is a weird one because it can get buried under there.
Oh, wow.
And then we want to be like,
yeah.
I'm good. Well, how you doing? And second, then we'll let what society, because it comes from a place, and then we allow people to put that on us. And that doesn't mean that's our truth. But the reality of it is, who can tell you how long that process takes?
Yeah.
This is a one minute
so
journey.
Good. That's so good.
And you got to do what you got to do for you. So
Right.
what the assessment does, it says, okay, well, you need this or you need that. And so it's a custom report, just like,
Like the personality test.
exactly.
Yeah.
And so it tells you what it is. And so what's so amazing about the oils, because there's no synthetics, literally within seconds you start to feel the transformation. A lot like we did when we were doing the peppermint.
Yeah.
So you feel that. But when I first started doing what I do, I took the assessment for myself, and I needed grapefruit. Emotionally, what grapefruit means that you're neglecting your body. Emotionally, that's what it spoke. And I was like, oh, I ain't neglecting my body. I don't even know if this is right. This can't be. But when I started sitting with myself, I'm like, what? I ain't neglecting my body. Like, I don't know what you're trying to say. But like your experience was, no, it ain't put my business out there. I'm like, what is that? But I was like, Holy
Made you
Spirit.
look at you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is that about? Holy Spirit, show me. I want to see me,
Yes.
all of me.
All of me.
And so don't let me be walking in self-deception, because that's the worst deception,
That's
is when
right.
you lying to yourself.
That's so good. So true.
I said, okay, grapefruit. So emotionally, grapefruit says that you're abusing the body. So I said, how am I abusing the body? Well, you don't go to lunch. You ain't had no water. You've been sitting here for 5 hours.
Oh, you just
ain't-
ran
like,
me
I'm
down.
Let me get this water right here.
She just ran me down at a
Just
day
get
at
this
work.
right here.
Yeah, the reality. And so, like, this amount of water, like, within an hour, we should do this. Most people won't drink water. It's like, well, because I don't like the taste of it. What it tastes like, but it don't have no taste. Well, how you don't like the taste of something that don't have no taste? So, I'm like, so yeah, about an hour. Most people don't like to drink water because it makes me go to the bathroom. Well, not if we sip it. Think about it. Sip it. So if you sip it, then your body gets what it needs. Most of us, by the time we're drinking water, we just chug them
Right,
up.
right. You're
It's
so
like-
dehydrated, you just
Because it's crazy, but I think about it as an interruption.
It is interfering with your day. Well, I tell you what, an IV is a whole lot more expensive for some hydration. When
You have to go there.
Sip the water. Let me
went
tell you.
all the way there.
An
Sip
IV.
Look, on that note,
Yeah, let me have some.
That's all that is.
Y'all,
I mean,
Mama told me I drank too much water
Drink
on the
some
show.
water.
I'm gonna drink some water, Mama.
here's some water for you, man.
that's right.
So the reality, if you drink water and you sip it, all the organs get it. When you go to the bathroom, it should be from your organs getting what they need and letting the excess go. Most of us, when you chug a mug it, your body, would you go to Niagara Falls and take a shower? Absolutely not.
No.
I just came from there and I know that.
Okay, because it's going to knock you down.
Kill you.
That's too much
falls will
water.
kill you.
That's too much water.
It's too much water, and that's what your body does. It's too
Wow.
much water at one time.
Yeah.
And another thing, don't be drinking at 7 and 8 o'clock at night. You're gonna be up all night letting water out.
Right.
Sip, sip, sip. Let your organs get what you need, and then go to bed.
Yeah.
And it'll let go of what, so your brain will get what it needs. Your heart will get what it. But if you just gulp it, they're gonna be like, okay, we can't process all of that. It's just like when the Niagara Falls.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So sip it. But hydration is a huge component, and most people are walking around and we're not getting nearly enough water.
Yeah, I know, and you
I've definitely
realize
been
it.
working
Take
on
it from me, guys. As you get older, it starts to show in different ways. So it's not good for your body. It shows up, so you need to take better care of yourself.
Definitely.
If I wanted to ask you, because time is running past so fast,
So good.
if you could share something with folks about your journey to this point, maybe the biggest lesson that you've learned in becoming who sits with us today, talk to them about that. Talk to them about choices and decisions.
Don't let anybody define who you're supposed to be. You're the best version of you. You're the one of a kind. You are the original. And until you identify and discover who that is, just be you. And be okay with being you, because everybody, remember, hurting people hurt other people. So you just be the best version of you. And it's okay if you make some mistakes, because guess what? That's part of the journey. It's part of the process.
Absolutely.
And so if you're in process, and process doesn't feel good. Process is painful.
Honey.
Sometimes it's like, Lord, is this season of process going
Oh,
ever
Father.
stop?
When is it going to end?
Please.
But God knows His timing is perfect.
It's profitable.
If you get anything before it's time, it is not going to be good.
That's absolutely
Yeah.
true.
If you take that cake out of the oven too fast,
Yeah.
you ain't got nothing there.
That's right.
The crazy part about that example, it's just the inside that collapses.
That is powerful.
Ooh.
You collapse from the inside.
Yes, doubts.
Woo. Yeah.
Woo.
And we spend so much
Drop the mic.
time on this.
Yes.
And it's the inside.
Yeah.
It's
that really
the
counts.
inside.
Yes.
Because I promise you, when you're whole from the inside, and it wasn't always beautiful being like the work. But I tell you what, to grow into a place where I'm not walking around like with my head down, like, or like on my nose too, like all the stuff, and we look in the mirror, I'm like, what are we looking at? We are so critical of ourselves.
Yes, we
And
are.
now we have social media to just
Help, and then you
Right.
got to stream through all this fixation and all this.
Right.
Come on,
Right.
Yeah.
Which isn't even reality.
It's not
because they had this tucked and this, you know.
You just put a
we're
filter on that.
Exactly.
Like,
But we're
that.
comparing
Yeah.
ourselves
Yeah.
to
That's
something
a
that's
sin.
not even authentic.
Yeah.
You know?
So true.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But yeah, don't let your eyes deceive you.
No.
Yeah. Awesome. The one thing that I love that you always tell us, your mentees, because you also mentor several different women, including myself. I love when you tell us to get out of our heads.
That's
what does
a
that
scary
mean, Miss
place.
Anita?
We are all thoughts, and we are all becoming what we think about us. The reality of it is, most of the stuff that we tell ourselves, it's a lie. People can see, like I see so much empowerment right here. I'm like, these powerful women. I'm like, sit here, like I'm enclosed in these powerful women and the force in this room. And you look in the mirror and it's like,
That's true.
okay, so in this moment, God, I don't feel so powerful, but you know what? I know that I am able to do all things through you. Because
Yes.
you made me.
She
I
knows
am in your image.
Yes.
So because of that, I know that there is nothing, like there's nothing that I'm not able to do in you.
Yes.
And so when
And
you get to that place and understand, this ain't even about you.
Not
Yeah.
say that
It's
again.
not even about you.
It's not.
It's not about
It's
you. It's
not.
for all those that He has assigned to come after you.
Yes.
The stuff He's brought you through, the things that He's
Come
done
on.
in your life.
Yes.
It's not even about pass the baton. We're in this race. We're
Yeah.
running. We're
Yeah.
getting older, never old, just running the race. But
Yeah.
now pass the baton. Okay, hand off, hand off, hand off. Is that timing? You hand it off.
Yeah.
That
Right.
next person takes that baton and they run,
Run
with
with
it.
it.
They run with it.
Yes.
How selfish. He lives
The baton.
the baton.
That's so good.
That is the process.
Yes.
Yeah.
To
Pass the
purpose,
baton.
to pass the baton.
Right.
That's where legacy
And
is
live a
found.
life that's passable.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah, who wants to be here all
Yeah.
this time and not have anything to leave?
Right.
Yeah.
Leave a
An
legacy
impact, you know, on the kingdom.
on the kingdom.
And you are doing that.
Yes, you are. You're
You are doing it in
amazing.
spades.
You are an
So I'm very
amazing
proud to
example
know
of
you.
that. I am
God.
as well.
Amen.
Yes.
So thank you all so much.
Listen,
Oh,
we're gonna
it was our
put these
pleasure.
links in the podcast and the
Yes.
comments to make sure that you know where to find Miss Benita
Yes,
and
most
Empowering
definitely.
Solutions Group. I'm telling you, it will definitely change your life. Yeah.
Yes, thank you
Thank
again.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
And thank you guys. We'll comment back.
We appreciate you.
We appreciate you
so
hanging with
much.
us.
Thank you.
And we'll see you
We'll see you
here,
soon.
same time, same day, next
Same
week.
station.
Yes.
Have a good one.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
That's it. First podcast.
Bye.
Am I supposed to push
All
something?
right.
Hit the